Hey Libra, welcome to your July 2021 spiritual message, channeled messages from Spirit and some oracle cards. One quick announcement before we just dive in to your reading. There's a live event coming up July 12th and 13th near Washington, D.C. So if you'd like to come hang out with me and Spirit for 2 full days, getting out of stagnant energy and getting into vibrantly living, check the link in the comments below. Okay, so Libra, you've got a lot going on, and it's almost as if you guys have been going through the emotional work. You've been going through some tumultuous emotional times, like a lot of crying, a lot of purging, a lot of processing. But I want to let you guys know and give you some hope. You are past the biggest hurdle. You're past the super painful part of your journey. So it's kind of like you're going to be exiting like the crying, releasing and exiting phase of your life and starting getting into just like that, that wobble space where you're like, okay, I'm not that old person anymore, but like, who am I? So you just have a little bit of a wobble, and it's just because you don't have like that newly defined social circle yet. And that's fine. But I just want to let you know, like, the worst of it is over in terms of all that just deep personal growth y'all have been doing. So continue to have faith. Where you've been, you were guided to be there 100%. It was the right decision. It was your path. I think that you were just a little unprepared for the sheer amount of personal and emotional, I don't want to say growth, I want to say processing, because you were shedding lots of layers, like just looks like lots of tears, to be honest. So it's just, in order to get to that happy place in life that you want, you had to go through this phase of just releasing all that old stuff. So continue to have faith in the process. Continue to have faith in the process, and know that like the worst of it is now behind you, okay? Okay, so it is kind of time to like wake up. You need to wake up. As much as there were other people involved, like, you need to just admit the way that you're leading your life, like, has not been working for you, right? If you keep dating the same type of person, or if you keep getting the same type of results in business, in work, in love, if you keep getting the same type of results, you've got to just like kind of admit, like, okay, the way that I've been approaching it is not working, right? There's a difference between, I got to have faith, there's a learning curve, I just have to keep persevering, right? And like, when it's been going on 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 years, and you've been having that same approach and it's not working, it's just kind of like, okay, the way I've been doing it has been the hard path. I'm now ready for the easier path. Because it's like you've been trying to like push against the grain. It's like you've been trying to just like insist and demand that it be your way. Not quite like that. Like, let me give you an example. You see the little vines in my back right there? So I used to have that plant in my front corner up here. And hey, Courtney. And I used to point the vine going that way, away from the source of light. So the plant started flipping and growing back towards the light. So that's just all your approach has been, Libra. You've been like, no, we're going this way. No, we're going this way. But like, nature wants to go the other way, right? So I finally flipped the plant around. So now it's growing towards the sun. So that's kind of why you want to switch. You want to switch and change up your approach a little bit there, Libra, so that you can be like working with nature, working with others, working with your spiritual team, with your guides. Because it isn't fun for you either to like kind of like insist. There's something about just like insisting that it be done a certain way. And I just want to give you guys a pretty stark example so that you can kind of sink in a little bit. It'd be like, when I first started doing this like spiritual personal growth business, I used to just go live in one Facebook group and I got all my clients from it. Maybe for like a good 4 or 5 months. And I was making 4,000 a month from that group. So I was fine. I was content. But then the person who owned that group shut it down and said, you can't promote in there. You can't go live. So that would be like, you better let me go live. This is how I get my income. You better let me go live. Well, I'm going to wait until she lets me go live again. Like, do you see how it's futile? Because what she ended up doing, she ended up just like shutting down the whole group and closing it out. Oh, when she opens that group again, then I'll be making money. Like, so I want to give you that stark example because whether it's your love life or your business life, the mentality that you've been approaching it with is the same as when she opens her group up again, then I can go live. Like, then I'll make money. Like, no, it's not working. You got to find a new way. You got to adapt. Because it kind of does look like there's been a little bit of heartbreak for you in like the love area of your life. Not necessarily romantic connections, like just even friendships, like relationships with family, like all relationships in your life right now. It just seems like there's been a little bit of heartache for it. So sorry. I want to give you guys a little bit of love and sympathy and empathy there. But it also looks like there's been some good, genuine people in your life that haven't been given necessarily the proper attention, the proper nurturing for it to either flourish, or like they maybe had genuine intentions, but whatever mindset you were in, you didn't see their genuine intentions, so you may like push them away. So it's really about reorienting and reevaluating how you view like love and friendships, Libra. Because it kind of looks like there's this like prove energy of you want them to prove how much they love you. And guys, just think like proving how much they love you, right? Sometimes that can be fun. It's like, my babe is feeling a little like he needs a little pampering. Like, okay, right? But no other human being can do that every single day for you. I mean, unless they're infinitely wealthy and have the time, and that's how they want to spend their time. But it'd be like, when you have a baby, for a good period of time, you have to just focus on taking care of the baby because it can't do anything for itself, right? And that's fine for a year or two of someone's life. But at some point, most mamas, most dads, after round 2, they're like, oh, okay, it's exhausting. And then the kid can start doing some stuff on its own, but then like they need a break, right? So it's kind of like you can't have a little baby your whole life. In the beginning, it's fun, it's cute, but like 10 years down the line, it's like, oh my God, like, whew, it's a lot of work. Not only that, but it's also not fun for you because you don't get to be in a place of inspiration. You don't get to be in a place of, oh, I saw this flower. I thought of her. Let me give it to her. It's, do they really love me? They really love me. Wouldn't they be calling me and texting me right now? Right? So neither one of you are having fun in it. And so it's like kind of admitting, instead of like insisting, maybe some of you are demanding, maybe some of you are just really desiring. And if it's not what you really desire, you're saying no, that it like be done in a certain way and it look a certain way. And that's just not, it's kind of just admitting the way that you've been approaching love isn't fun. And I'm not talking about, it doesn't have to be romantic love, guys. It can just be like friendships and whatnot too. There's lots of messages for you in these cards. So it's kind of like you have that like chin up attitude. Just got to keep going. Just got to keep going. But in reality, all you're doing is you keep walking down the path that's not working. And it's like if you would just take a breath, a break, and just kind of admit, I do want someone to collaboratively dream with. I do want someone to kind of like take off the mental load a little bit with. I do want someone to like play with, to go to the river with, I do want someone in my life. It's kind of like you just got to admit that, like, I do want someone in my life. Instead of, you just got to admit, I want someone in my life. And it's like, if you would admit that, then like true love can come in. Then friends who go, hey, we're doing this. Do you want to go? Hey, we're doing this. Do you want us to pick you up anything when we're there? Because it's like you really just want that community feel again. That, hey, when you go to the store, do you think of me? Right? It gives that space for people to, oh my God, let's call him, let's call her, we're doing this, let's see if they want to go, or maybe we should go on a vacation. Well, let's see if he wants to go too. It's like you're just kind of craving that to be thought of. And if you just like admit it, like, I want that. Who's the other person who wants someone like me in their life? And it's also about recognizing that you got to contribute back. Right? Like, let's just use the example of like, I mean, y'all know this kind of example where you get that like that high value man, right? That's like maybe a doctor or maybe like a NASA scientist. And they just come to the room and they're like, hey, I'm here. But they don't necessarily share any of their knowledge. They didn't bring any drinks to the party. They're just like, I showed up. Right? Like, that's not fun. That's not sustainable. It's not going to last. So there's a little bit of like, well, I showed up, I'm here. Aren't you supposed to be loving me now? But it's like, there's just like no consideration for the other person in that action. So yeah, you really just got to admit that you want those friendships and those relationships. And like, if you would just be honest with yourself and admit, I want to experience true love. Because love, guys, the definition of love, at least how I teach it and view it, is it's not that necessarily like romance, that you rom-com romance, in like Western society. It's a little bit more of, I choose you. I choose to spend my time, my energy, my focus on you. So that will lead to things like, baby, can't wait to see you later. Oh, I can't stop thinking about you. You're so funny. You're so cute. Okay. But it's also like, I choose you. I choose to take you as equal to me. So whatever your needs are, I choose them. But that also means I choose you too. What are your needs? And then it's like, how do we get all the needs met in a fun way and in a win-win for both of us? Right? Because if the other person's losing, guess what? In the long run, you're going to lose too. Right? Like, think of it this way. You got a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. There's an obvious cognitive difference. There's an obvious size difference. There's an obvious ability difference, right? And if they keep going up the slide, the 2-year-old's probably going to need some help. If the 5-year-old keeps pushing the kid down the ladder, after 3 or 4 times, it's probably going to cry and run to mom. It's not going to play with that kid anymore. So it's not like, I've got the slide, you stay down there. I'm the one with the slide. Prove to me that you like love me. And he comes back, brings you a flower. And you're like, thanks, not good enough. Keep working. So they bring another flower. After all, they're going to be like, fuck it. I'm just bringing this person flowers and I'm not like enjoying it, right? So it's like really recognizing that relationships are about mutual refueling for both people. When you do that, that's when love and relationships are going to feel like a beautiful gift to you. All right, Libra, I hope that helped. That was a really interesting read to do for you guys. If you like this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share it, help all your other Libras out. If you want to come hang out live with me for 2 days, me and Spirit channeling for you, just get out of that old COVID energy, get out of that old stuck, stagnant, lockdown energy and get back to like vibrantly living. Come hang out with me for 2 days in Washington, D.C. I'll put a link in the comments for you later. If you catch this video before I get the link in the comments, just head to my website. There's a tab, live events. Love you guys. Bye.